you'll be like me and say, I am protesting and not using the DAO whatsoever right now. I am not voting in DAO grants. I am actually not even creating DAO grant proposals right now until DAO reform is complete. There is DAO reform taking place right now. And if you go into the forum, you'll see that there is deep conversation about that DAO reform taking place. If you search here, so if you look here, you'll see all the individual conversations happening around the DAO grant form. And all the changes taking place. Actually, it might have officially hit the DAO. So first they came in as a pre-proposal. Oh, now it's officially here, folks. It is officially here. Our newest updates here for the DAO form, for the grant program are officially now drafts that we can vote on. So here we are, redefine the tiers of the DAO grant program, making it more flexible and secure. So this is going to change the tiers. Now, since we're talking about DCL, let me change my category to Decentraland. Okay. So, all right, here we go. Currently, this is where we are. This is reviewing the results. Okay, new scheme is recommended. Here we go. Up to 20,000, so lower tier. Up to 20,000 payable and stable coin. Vesting can range from 1 to 6 months. Voting 2 weeks. 2 million VP. Okay. And then there's the high tier, which is 20 to 240. And then these are under a specific formula. Okay, and this is even a little less VP than previously. They said 50 VP in the draft form, which I was okay with. And they originally said, I think, 1 million. So they added a little bit, the 0.2. So they took away the 50 variable and they added 0.2 mil here. I'm okay with this. Analysis and considerations for the future. This is very big, people, because Metaverse Genius, you were asking me. I'm glad that you brought this up because for me, I'm not even until this gets settled, everything here, there's no sense in even continuing. Analysis and consideration for the future. There are 2 parameters of this model that could easily change over time in contrast in the current tiers. Okay, the threshold right here for the lower tier as well. So basically they're making this variable. So now we don't need to come and change everything. If we want to change the sensitivity of this, we can change these 2 variables. I like it. I'm going to vote yes on this. So this is beautiful. I think at this point, we've already passed the threshold of 1 million to approve this. And look, it looks like the community is very much so behind this. So this is very good. This is great. And actually, this is due to end and to close on this voting in 2 days. All right, so that's the first one. Now, keep in mind the temporary pause can now be escalated to a proposal officially. So then the final governance vote would be before the 20th of December. Current open grant remain unaffected by the pause. So that means the last day to submit a proposal would be December 24th, and the last day to vote would be the 31st. Let me see something real quick. Making a note. Made my note, and I made my note, and I made my note. Yo, I'm so pumped. Next year is going to be magical. So, let's see. New vesting contract. Here we go. Yes, this is making it so basically disbursement every 30 days. That's all it is. And I would say hot yes on that. I wonder, there's one person that's voting against it. I'm curious. Doug from NFT World is not I wonder if he commented anything about it. Why bi-weekly instead of weekly? Okay. He doesn't want to have to wait 2 weeks. I think honestly we can work around that. That's not going to be the 2 week thing isn't going to be a deal breaker. Here we go. New categories, requirements. This is a big one. Okay, so basically we're creating new categories. Every grant must comply with the terms and conditions, declare a personnel budget, roadmap, provide monthly updates, provide a presentation to the video format to be shared publicly, be responsive to DAO committee and core unit communications. Core unit, okay. Okay, provide core infrastructure operations for the DAO. The work done is essential to the organization. Grantees must be considered official representatives of the DAO. Requirement, provide an essential or strategic value to the DAO, provide a publishing open source documentation, all that, performance metrics, makes sense. Platform, creation of tools and applications that extend the power of Decentraland platform or provide alternative ways to explore Decentraland's ecosystem. Build in public, publishing open source code and documentation is required. This is a new requirement, folks. Performance metrics, the number of contributions made to the main repository of code. So this is how they're going to measure your impact. The number of contributions made to the repository and how you publish the tool or application or production providers. Okay. Documentation based on the number of contributions to the documentation and the awesome repository. This is like on the documentation, the Decentraland documentation page, like the SDK documentation, how-to documentation videos, not to be confused with social media. In-world content, okay, the development of attractive experiences. So this is like games, like Vroomway, i.e. that kind of stuff. Events created. So this is going to be performance metrics right here. Events created and attendees. So how many people attended your events? So I would say popes are going to be very important on that. People can use popes to manage that. Newly populated land, active users, returning users, time on scene. And an easy way to track that is via Atlas. And if you ever, for instance, you can always use apps like, oops, let's see. Like DCL metrics to look at specific scenes. You can also use, I use Atlas Corp. You can come here, see the activity on the DCL report scene. You can see by week, by day, by month. I've been away these last weeks, so thus not very active here. As you can see on the 11/15, we had quite the day. We can see all the people who came. Swag, that's pretty dope. That is pretty cool. Wow. You could go to other places too. Let's see what mini. I'm sure Golfcraft. This is a big game right here, right? Golfcraft just added. That's pretty cool. So you can see they're getting like four, and we can come here and see all the people on that day. Fire. That's cool. So you could use that to be able to show and report that kind of detail. Social media content. Projects to create content on social media platforms such as Twitch, that's us. Twitter, that's us. YouTube, that's us. TikTok, that's us. Discord, that's us. A project aims to reach new users and keeps them engaged. What site is that with the user tracking? Jump in Spider. Before I tell you, can you admit that here at the DCL report, we're always giving you some quality alpha? We always giving you that real good quality info. This is called Atlas Analytics. We always hooking it up. This is, my opinion, one of the more accurate tools, but it is hard-coded stuff into scenes. So you're not going to see stuff on everybody's scene. You're going to see ones in companies that have partnered with this particular company. You see Atlas Oil Fields, you see Meta Trekkers, Decentraland Report, Freshman Wearable Showcase. It's a small group of us. But if you know Morris Mustang, then yes. But look at this. You can even come here and see specific actions. Like if you want to see how many times did somebody enter the scene or player animations, like how many times did they emote? I can actually see how many times people emoted. If I want to say how many times did people do camera changes. Hey, let's go jump in Spider. Much love. I could see how many times they changed profiles. How many times did they enter the scene or leave the scene? Users by realm. It's fun to see where most of my users are spending time by realm. See that. This is hard coded into the actual scene. The API. So here you can see that on the Decentraland Report HQ over the last month, 110 of the people who've been, you can see there have been like 152 people visit our scene. 110 of them had an actual wallet, and 42 of them were guests. So this is like people who are maybe not native to Decentraland. Very, very powerful data. Shout out to Atlas Analytics. Very, very. I can even see where these people are. Shout out Bulgaria. Let's go. Let's go, Bulgaria. Last couple days, Bulgaria has been coming through. Appreciate that. So social media, you're gonna have to talk about how many number of pieces did you produce? What's the total number of views and interactions of the created content? What does the engagement metrics look like? Likes, retweets, reach, retention. What other mentions did you have in media outlets? I think all appropriate. Sponsorship, supporting conferences, side events, community meetups, hackathons. Here are the requirements. Here are the performance metrics. How many attendees, evidence of the project execution, and mentions in media outlets. And then they have an accelerator, return on investment, performance metrics. Okay. Revenue share with the DAO or alternative value proposition. I'm going to vote a hot yes on that. I'm inspired by that. Why also? Because I also helped write this. That's right, folks. And if you were tuned into me before I left, then you would have known that you had the opportunity to do that too. There were open discussions, open docs where we were having these discussions, not in a hidden Discord, but in the actual DCL forum. And that was fly. Let's see. Last one, budgeting system. Here we go. So now it's no longer going to be as much as we approve can go. There's going to be a budgeting system. Here's how much funds we spent over the last year, whatever time we took. I think it was like about a year. This is how much we spent. A lot of money, indeed. So you can read through this, but basically what it says is they're going to break this down into 4 quarters. At the beginning of each quarter, so this is how much mana, how much money they're going to give out. So they're going to say, hey, this is how much money we're going to give out through the year. During the quarter. Okay, at the beginning of each quarter, the maximum amount of the money that can be allocated through the grant program is going to be defined as such. 5.5 million times mana price times 0.70. So 0.7. So basically 70% is going to be given, which gives us a bit of a wiggle room on our maximum if we decide we want to go more or less. So here is the proposed budget breakdown. And I'm liking what I'm seeing. So much feedback. Honestly, I'm really, honestly so grateful because so much of what the conversation, this was significantly lower. This was like around 17 or 24 or something like that. And I think they raised it to their appropriate level. Let's go. Let's see what we do here, folks. I'm pumped. Hot yes on this. and the amount, this can always be changed later. Like, I love Yamel did an amazing job at putting this through. Great work. Really, really impressed. What's this? DAO grants program. Adding in new fields to grant submission form. Add new fields to, okay. Hey, what? Any magic coming through with 100 bits? Much love. Appreciate you stopping through. Any magic? Much love. Y'all know I do what I say. And right now, as I said, the first thing that we need to do, I said at the end of this DAO town hall, the last thing I did right here, Any Magic, was this DAO town hall. And I said on November 24th, that what are the first 3 things that we're going to be doing? We're going to be focused on DAO reform. That was step 1, and that's taking place right now. So I'm so happy to see that happen.